What is up, everybody? I wanted to come to you guys tonight with my TNA review. So, let's talk about TNA. TNA tonight was a horrible, horrible show. TNA sucked tonight. TNA was god awful. This show was garbage. This show was a flaming hot garbage pile that was on fire. TNA tonight sucked. This show was garbage. This show was trash for TNA tonight. This show sucked. So let's talk about the first match of the night. The first match of the night was EC3 versus Eric Young. This was a really, really damn good match between Eric Young and EC3. This was a really damn good one-on-one men's match tonight between Eric Young and EC3 to start off the night for TNA. This was a damn good one-on-one men's match. These two guys went out there and put on a banger of a match to start off the night for TNA tonight. Those two men went out there and put on a barn burner of a match. This match was a banger of a match. This was a really good match between EC3 and Eric Young to start off the night for TNA Impact tonight. These two men put on a really good one-on-one men's match to start off the night for TNA. Eric Young and EC3 went out and absolutely put on a banger of a match in this one-on-one men's match to start off the night for TNA Impact. And Eric Young ended up picking up the win over EC3 in this really damn good one-on-one men's match to start off the night for TNA. These two men put on a hell of a match, banger of a match between these two guys. Really fun match. This match between Eric Young and EC3 to kick off Impact tonight was a freaking banger. This match was a hell of a match. Fun, very entertaining. Very fun one-on-one men's match between Eric Young and EC3 tonight to kick off Impact Wrestling. And Eric Young ended up picking up the win over EC3 tonight on TNA Impact. And then we had a tag team match with Casey Navarro and Nick Nemeth versus Brian Myers and Bear Bronson. This was a 2-on-2 men's tag team match tonight on TNA Impact. This is just your basic run-of-the-mill 2-on-2 men's tag team match to start on the night for. This was just your basic run-of-the-mill men's 2-on-2 tag team match with Casey Navarro and Nick Nemeth versus Bear Bronson, and Brian Myers. This was just your basic 2-on-2 men's tag team match tonight on TNA Impact. There was nothing really to write home about here. This match was alright. It was just your ordinary tag team match. Nothing to write home about here. Bear Bronson and Brian Myers ended up picking up the win over Casey Navarro and Nick Nemeth tonight on TNA Impact in a men's 2-on-2 tag team match. And then we had Eddie Edwards and Cedric Alexander versus Moose and Leon Slater in a men's 2-on-2 tag team match tonight on Impact Wrestling. Again, another run-of-the-mill men's 2-on-2 tag team match tonight on Impact Wrestling with Leon Slater and Moose versus Cedric Alexander and Eddie Edwards tonight on TNA Impact Wrestling. Nothing to write home about here either. This just another 2-on-2 regular men's tag team match tonight on TNA Impact Wrestling. And the team of Moose and Leon Slater ended up picking up the win over Cedric Alexander and Eddie Edwards tonight on TNA Impact Wrestling in a men's 2-on-2 tag team match. This match was alright for what it was. It was just your basic run-of-the-mill men's 2-on-2 tag team match tonight with Leon Slater and Moose versus Eddie Edwards and Cedric Alexander tonight on TNA Impact. And Moose and Leon Slater ended up picking up the win over Eddie Edwards and Cedric Alexander tonight on TNA Impact Wrestling. And then we had the main event, which was Lei Yang Lee versus Ariana Grace in a one-on-one women's match tonight in the main event of TNA Impact. This was probably the best match of the night, in my opinion. These women went out there and put on a really, really good match in the main event of TNA tonight between Ariana Grace and Lei Young Lee. These two women went out there and put on a really, really damn good main event for the TNA Knockouts Championship. This was a really, really fun match between Ariana Grace and Lei Yang Lee. This was a really, really damn good match between these two women. They went out there and put on a damn good match in the main event for the TNA Knockout Women's Championship. This was a fun match, man. I enjoyed this match between these two women. Very, very, very fun match. And Lei Yang Lee ended up picking up the win over Ariana Grace. And Lei Yang Lee is your new TNA Women's Knockout Champion. She picked up the win over Ariana Grace tonight in the main event of TNA Impact Wrestling for the TNA Knockout Women's Championship. And then we had a segment with Mike Santana. Mike Santana had an awesome segment tonight on TNA. I really like Mike Santana, man. Mike Santana can cut a promo. Mike Santana is really, really good on the mic, man. This dude can really cut a promo, and this dude can talk, man. Mike Santana is really, really awesome on the microphone. This dude, he is a good promo. This dude can cut an awesome promo on the mic. This dude can talk. And then we had a segment with Daria Ray tonight on Impact Wrestling. She had a segment on Impact Wrestling tonight. Daria Ray had a segment on Impact Wrestling tonight. I enjoyed her segment on Impact Wrestling tonight as well. And then we had a segment with Elena Black. I really, really did like this segment with Elena Black tonight on Impact Wrestling. Elena Black was the best thing about Impact Wrestling tonight. I enjoyed Elena Black on the mic tonight. I really enjoyed her segment on TNA Impact Wrestling tonight. She was really, really fun to watch. I really enjoyed this segment with Elena Black tonight on TNA Impact Wrestling. There are four things I would recommend for you guys to go back and watch tonight on Impact Wrestling. Go back and watch the Eric Young and EC3 match. Go back and watch the segment with Mike Santana. Go back and watch the segment with Daria Ray, and go back and watch the main event match with Ariana Grace and Lei Yang Lee in the main event of TNA for the TNA Women's Knockout Championship. Go back and watch those four things. Other than that, I'm going to give TNA Impact a 4 out of 10. TNA Impact just didn't hit. It wasn't a good show. It really, really wasn't. This show was horrible for TNA Impact. This show was really, really horrible. The four things I enjoyed, like I said, was the EC3 Eric Young match, the Elena Black promo, the segment with Daria Ray, and the segment with Mike Santana, and the main event with Ariana Grace versus Lei Yang Lee tonight in the main event of Impact Wrestling for the Knockout Women's Championship. Those are the things I enjoyed on Impact Wrestling tonight. Outside of that, I would not go back and watch Impact Wrestling again. To be honest with you guys, this show did not hit. This show was not fun. This show was horrible. But yeah, guys, this has been my TNA Impact review. If you guys enjoyed this TNA Impact review, hit that like button. And if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys subscribe. I would really, really appreciate that. If you guys haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure you guys subscribe to my YouTube channel. I would really, really appreciate that. And thank you guys for watching this TNA Impact review. I'm going to give TNA Impact Wrestling a 4 out of 10. This show was very, very boring, very mediocre. So yeah, guys, thank you guys for watching this TNA Impact review. I really, really appreciate it. And you guys have a great night. Stay safe, stay blessed. And your boys out. Peace.